Now, I think we are live, guys.
Ooh, scary.
Greetings and salutations.
Bonjour.
Welcome to the House of Commons Subcommittee on Kind Resources. There's 3 of us today, and you see me peeking at my crypt right now. You're seeing what might be some familiar faces in a bizarre combination that doesn't make any sense. But we're gonna deal with it, alright, guys? We're in this together because you can see my hand, so clearly you must feel more solidarity with me than these other 2 yahoos.
I don't think you're trusting our viewers. I think they appreciate skill, quality, and humor. None of which.
Why are they
qualify as
watching
me.
us?
Yeah, not a good start. Do you mind describing which corners everyone are in?
Okay, so I am, from the camera's perspective, the sole player on the bottom of the table here, sort of in the middle, slightly offset, because I think that's where people's crypt cards wind up when they press the draw crypt button. I don't want to get too much in their face.
Making the edge.
The edge. And then... Oh, and so I guess to go in the correct order, Stirling is in the upper right-hand corner. He's player 1. He is preying on me. And then in the upper left is Dan. And so, aside from me complaining about the contents of my starting crypt, we know nothing about what each other are playing. So that's cool.
Yeah, this should be a bit of a mystery. Well, let's see if Stirling reveals what he's playing with his first turn 1 transfer. Is he playing a Caitiff deck? It's basically the question.
Well, maybe he's got some non-clan requirement MasterCard to play.
Yeah.
That somehow gives away the contents of the rest of the deck.
That would be tough, but possible.
Alright, so I'm going to go straight to influence.
Alright.
I think. Alright, I'm going to put 1 influence there. Okay. And then I think I'm going to not discard, and it's now Andrew's turn.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm up.
You didn't have a 1 cap? I am shocked. Shocked, I say.
I think I'm going to have to build a low-cap deck just to mess with Dan's head.
Well, I mean, if it had been like a 3 cap, I wouldn't have been that. It's the 1 cap. Like is there such a thing as a good 1 cap? And don't answer that question.
All right. So anyway, I've used my 2 transfers, and then I'm going to go ahead and discard something. Top of Ash Heap, and then draw, and then ship the turn.
All right. Well, it is my turn. No master, no minion. Just putting blood. Done. Discard. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm actually I'm good. So I am done.
Okay. All right. My turn. I have nothing till influence.
All right.
2, 3, 4. All right, and no discard. So, Andy, you're up.
Okay, I am going to play a MasterCard. I'm going to acquire a wider view.
Hmm.
Draw to replace that. And I guess so for the sake of the audience, I may use a transfer to move the top card from my crypt to my uncontrolled region, and then remove a crypt card from the game. And I may use 4 transfers to burn this card and gain 2 pool.
Notably, the crypt card you remove from the game has to be from the uncontrolled region.
Yes. This is how you get rid of top dogs.
Yeah, unfortunately, the audience has not seen the Tup Dog game because the recording for that got messed up. But yeah, I played a Tup Dog deck a couple weeks ago. It went poorly.
It was a Tup Dog deck.
For the audience who doesn't just intrinsically know what a Tup Dog deck is, it's built around a particular card called Tup Dog, which is a slave gargoyle. You bring out the
wrong one.
Tremere Ante, and then Tup Dog just jumps into the fight whenever your Tremere Ante is attacked and proceeds to beat the other person up, die horribly because it dies at the end of your next turn, and then you get a new Tup Dog. And you keep doing this until the other person just gets sick of it and shoots you. Not you, the character, you, the player.
Yep. Andy got better. All right.
Okay, so I've used 3 transfers, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of my wider view to draw a crypt card and remove this from the game, which is different from the ash heap, so I'm not sure where I move it to.
I guess the thing would just be
a section.
Yes.
I'm going to send it to removed. And I'm just
does anything come out?
Yes. Let's see. Doli is a 3-cap Laibon.
Interesting. It's going to be one of these decks.
And I can't quite decide if... I'm pretty sure this card is not going to be useful to me anytime soon, but I don't want to discard it because y'all are just going to look at me weird, so I'm going to go ahead and hold on to it, despite the fact it's a strategic disadvantage.
Well, that's fair. You wouldn't want to have someone look at you funny.
Dan, you're up.
All right. No master, no minion, straight to influence. 1. Oh, that was the wrong thing. Now I'm playing hunters, as you all know now. Out of respect for Stirling's delicate sensibilities, I am not playing hunters. Shoot, I need to flip it over. Where's the flip?
It's clearly been a while since we've actually played this game.
Yeah, where is the flip thing? It's
you right-click on it, and it's turn card.
There we go. Maricina.
Or Maricia, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to hear how to actually pronounce words.
By not throwing in extra letters.
Aren't we fancy? I know what letters sound like, and don't add random ones into the middle of words. Well, for the audience at home,
if anyone else, from what I learned from Monty Python, Shakespeare has a silent Q, by the way.
Oh yes, you're right. Marcia has superior animalism, presence, and spiritus because she's in fact an Ahrimane. A obscure bloodline of the gangrels who have a spiritual connection to animals, unlike the other gangrels who have a non-spiritual connection to animals, which I think means they just spend a lot of time getting in trouble with local animal groups. She also has 1 strength.
And
plus 1 strength.
plus 1 strength. Yeah. So the weird thing I find about the Ahrimanes and VtES is, if I remember correctly from Vampire the Masquerade, like, aren't there like 15 Ahrimanes and they all live in Atlanta?
I don't know about Atlanta. There's not very many of them. They're a very small bloodline.
And yet here, I mean, they're sterile, but not scarce, which I just think is interesting.
That's weird. Oh, she can also turn Gangrel and Tribu into an Ahrimane, and they get a level of Spiritus for 1 blood.
Sweet.
All right. So.
Okay.
All right.
You go ahead and keep going. I'm going to BRB. I'm going to turn my fan down. I'm afraid it might be picking it up on the mic.
Okay.
All right. I have nothing till influence.
If something doesn't come out this turn, I'm going to get concerned.
All right.
Well, I was tempted to go with the larger of the 2 cap.
We'll see.
I think, but instead, I just went with the 7 cap. Gillespie Giovanni arrived, and he gets +1 bleed when bleeding a Methuselah who controls a ready Camarilla vampire. So, unfortunately,
not
no
a
one
problem.
has. Alas. But the key things is he has inferior aspect, superior dominate, potence, and necromancy.
So I'm going to ask this. Looking at his face, does he remind you of like the monkey Jesus that was online like months ago, where it was like this woman had restored Jesus and made him look like a kind of globby monkey? His face looks like that.
Months ago? Wasn't that like 3 years ago?
I'm not good at time. I've taken a few too many examples of temporis to the head. As a true Bruja, I am really bad at time.
All right. I think this is... All right, for those who don't know, it's a Christopher Shy artwork. And Christopher Shy does really great scenes. Not, and some decent portraits here and there, but sometimes it can get a bit, similar. So look up Christopher Shy's artwork. It's really good.
And as I recall correctly, he also did the artwork for Transhuman Space for GURPS, for which he was fairly well lauded because there's a lot of really cool scenery and setup.
Yeah. Just in
Transhuman Space
Final Nights
is like, it's a really fun RPG series of books to read. I've never played it, and I'm honestly not sure if I want to. It's weird. I have a strange relationship with that franchise.
Which is the first problem.
That is true.
Like, if you used a different system besides GURPS, it might be great.
I think I'm going to send this. I think I'm just going to...
Our core audience was hoping to hear about VtES and instead has to listen to rant on about artwork from RPGs from like 15 to 18 years ago.
Well...
Which they should be used to by now.
Well, so if they would like to know something interesting about the past, just something... I reminded myself of something really bizarre a couple of days ago. Do you remember, like, gamepads and joysticks for PC, like, back in the late 80s and 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They didn't connect via USB, probably because USB didn't exist then, nor through serial port. There was an extra connector for that was unique for gamepads and joysticks that was on your sound card.
I don't know if it was on my sound card, but I remember having that because I had one for TIE Fighter.
That was a great game. We should let's
such
play,
a good game.
Let's play cards, guys. Oh, it's my turn. I've been responsible for all of this dead air time. For some reason, I assumed that for some strange reason I was waiting on the. Okay. Anyway,
He discarded a card, and then we're sitting here talking about TIE Fighter. I think we're saying, let's stop playing cards and go play TIE Fighter. And I'm like, all right. The House of Commons Subcommittee on Imperial TIE Fighter.
Coming next week, a Let's Play of X-Wing Alliance. Okay. All right. So, Dolly here is going to attempt to recruit a tunnel runner.
A werewolf. Well, let's see here. That's at 1 stealth, you say?
Yes.
I choose not to do anything about it.
Okay.
Do the Giovanni care about werewolves?
Possibly. But I choose not to block this action.
Okay. Sweet. So it looks like I'm gonna hemorrhage 4 pool pain for that. And probably put some life counters on him. One, 2. Okay, it's 3 life. 3. There we go.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a werewolf?
Oh, I forgot my master phase action. Oh well.
You should know better.
Yeah, I should. True facts. Okay. Oh, well, having successfully done that, technically this should be down there in my uncontrolled region, but meh. It can't take an action. I'm aware of that. Let's zip straight to influence and let's see. Gain a blood. Turn card and turn card.
Giovanni / Akudance deck. That's an interesting combo.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. I have no idea if it makes sense or if it's any good at all. But okay, anyway.
We'll see.
Yeah. So,
it's intriguing.
Leah Milliner, 3-cap Giovanni, which I've been checking, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to contest anything because that guy's group 1, correct? Gillespie
Group
over
2.
there?
He doesn't have a
group
group number? Oh, he's group 2?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So he had to be group 1 or 2 if he doesn't have his group number printed in the corner.
Okay, so yeah. I'm 3 and 4, so we will have no overlap.
I do like
then.
the artwork on Leah Milliner, though. It's kind of a nice, sort of blocky, but kind of sets off the character.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, she's got dominate and
Necromancy.
Necromancy. I was going to the Giovanni special thing. Okay. Anyway,
Italian stereotypes? Is that a power in this game?
Well, it is a White Wolf game.
Oh, that's true. In White Wolf games, you do get broad racial stereotype powers in the early editions.
Anyway, Dan, you are up.
Thank you. Here's hoping they bring back WAD gypsies for the card game. Let's hope they don't. That's a terrible book. I'm sorry for bringing it up. Anyway, my turn, eh?
Indeed.
No master minion. I do have a minion action. Maricina would like to use Nature's Call, which I'm going to put out. Actually, she would like to use Maricina's Call, which is her own card, apparently.
Apparently.
At +1 stealth, to employ a retainer that requires animalism, which the cost is paid as normal. The retainer has an additional life, and she will untap at the end of the turn.
Okay.
Cool. Would anyone like to block?
I choose not to block.
Yeah, no blocks.
Okay, I'm going to reveal my cards to myself. I'm going to find the card I want. There we go. I will go back and I will none and shuffle and reshuffle my collection. I have gotten a Murder of Crows.
Inflicts 1 ranged damage each round of combat during normal strike resolution.
Yep.
All right. Someone may or may not be fond of presses to continue, then.
So let's see here. I will gain some blood and I will spend some pool. I am done. Let me take a look here. Yeah, I'm done. I will untap because I'm done.
Okay.
Your turn, Stirling.
All right.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize that card and the character have the same name. I'm like, that's kind of funny. Those look really similar.
All right. So I'm going to play Blood Doll.
All
1,
right.
2, 3. Okay. Unsurprisingly, going to use Blood Doll.
Not caught by surprise there. Also, am I just looking at this right and assuming that we all have decks that potentially have some pretty nice combat tricks? This could be an interesting, really brutal game.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, Mr. Potence. I don't know what you're talking about either.
Oh, no, like the,
All right.
the superior potence. That's not important. You know, he's in that deck because he has inferior aspects.
Oh right,
Yep.
It's the Giovanni wall deck.
Well, there is that one, a couple necromancy cards that could allow you to block, right?
You could do it. It's just I'm betting that's not what you're playing. I'm just gonna use my psychic powers to read the future. Let's see if I'm right.
Anyways, Gillespie would like to attempt to bleed you.
All right. I am being bled. That's the thing that's happening. I think the tunnel runner would like to attempt to block.
Okay. Let me one. Actually, I'm going to burn a blood and use Call the Hungry Dead to prevent the tunnel runner from blocking.
Okay. In that case, I'll let it through. Bleed for 1, or
Yep.
is there a buff? Okay. And
Bleed
The
for
edge
1.
is you.
you've got an edge.
All right. All right, then.
Am I the only one who now sees that the edge has the same background color as the table, so it looks circular?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I noticed that, and I was just like, huh.
I wonder if it was an update.
I was kind of thinking maybe it's just always been like that for everyone else, but yeah.
No, I think it must have come from the update that we got a little while ago.
Yeah, could be. Figured out how transparencies work finally, perhaps.
Yep.
All right.
Actually, I want to just test something here. Yeah, okay, it is transparent. I wasn't sure if it just had the same background color as the table, and if you put it over something. Sorry to be messing with your stuff, Stirling.
Okay, no worries.
Hey,
and
it's Lori.
Lori.
I totally built a Lori All-Star deck that is not the one I'm playing.
So, Lori is an abomination.
And so for totally unrules related background, in case anyone's curious, abomination is like a werewolf vampire, But yeah, anyway, go on.
All right, so she's scarce, sterile, has +1 strengths. Non-hunt actions cost her an additional pool. Cannot play reaction cards, equipment, retainers, yada yada yada. So
Or press to end, or maneuver to lock.
block.
She does get a bonus strike, a bonus press, and has superior potence and inferior fortitude. She'll get by somehow.
Yep.
So yeah, fighty thing.
And yep. Okay. Do I want to trash a card? At the moment, not really. So, all right, I'm going to turn it over to Andy.
Okay, I'm up, and let me think here.
Oh, also, speaking of things our audience has not seen before, the Ahrimanes are the Laibon, which Andy is playing, and you may notice they have a large teddy bear, which is actually a lion face, but I'm going to call it the teddy bear, which is Ambambwe, the unique discipline of the Ahrimanes. Rules mechanically speaking, it has a lot of frenzy-based cards and stuff like play before range to get bonuses. It's pretty good in combat, and it has a little splash of bleed and intercept boosting.
All right. Well. Okay. All right. Untap all. Okay. Master phase. I'm actually going to do something this turn, and I'm kind of glad I didn't last turn now, so I can Pentex Subversion on Lori. Any sudden reversals or anything?
I'm not.
Nope.
Okay. Pay for that.
If Stirling wants to, he is free. I'm not choosing to cause him not to Pentex Subvert an abomination. That's okay with that. The next card you should play on Lori, of course, is Pentex Loves You. I forget what it does. It just would be really funny for Pentex to subvert and then love the abomination.
All right. So the Tunnel Runner would like to attempt to bleed.
The Tunnel Runner, eh? Now, if I recall correctly, when a minion hits 0 life, they're dead.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm that, you know. So yeah, I'll attempt to block with my +1 strength.
Okay. So this is mostly a way for me to hopefully try and figure out how the hell this card works. This could have been a terrible decision on my part. But anyway, so yeah, it looks like combat happens then.
Awesome, you're the actor.
I have nothing before strikes. Wait, okay. I take that back. I might have something before strikes. I genuinely, this card makes no sense to me. So I'm just going to put it on the table. Aid from Bats. It's a strike with 1 ranged damage and an optional maneuver.
Yes, you would play that at the maneuver phase.
Okay, I was going to say, like, if this resolves at the same time as strikes do, what good does that maneuver do me?
You play it at the maneuver, get the maneuver, if you use the maneuver, your strike is forced, and you can't change it in case someone else changes it.
Okay, so anyway, I'm doing that because notice I don't know that I bothered to read the audience.
I saw that.
Tunnel Runner, but they can play cards that require animalism as a vampire.
Okay.
So
I'm not
maneuvering
going to maneuver.
Longman.
I don't maneuver.
Okay.
I take a damage and you take a damage.
That is correct.
Would you like to press?
I would not.
All right, I'm good.
All right.
I am disappointed.
Yeah, I wish you hadn't maneuvered. That would have been entertaining.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Now, Dolly would like to attempt to computer hack.
Go for it.
Okay. So that's a bleed for 2.
Done.
Top of ash heap. And let's see here. Menno Nagari would also like to attempt to computer hack.
That is fine.
Okay. Nope.
All right.
That did not do what I wanted it to do. Top of ash heap. Okay. So influence phase, I am going to go ahead, use my 4 transfers, and burn the wider view to gain 2 pool.
Be right back.
Okay.
Do I want to discard? I'm not going to. Prime, you're up.
All right. Untap. Master. I do have a master. It is the Dreams of the Sphinx.
Ah, yeah. That's Sphinx in its dreams.
I will let Stirling return to see if he wishes to. Although no, he didn't counter your Pentex subversion, so I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to. But I will at least let him go there. Welcome back.
Greetings. All right.
I have a Dream of the Sphinx. I wanted to give you a chance to sudden reversal it just in case.
No sudden reversals here.
Okay. I will immediately tap Dreams of the Sphinx, gain a counter, and put a blood onto one of my crypt.
Okay.
Minion. Murasina would like to invoke Angling Fury. She will gain 2 blood and then untap. This is at +1 stealth.
I choose not to block at this point.
Yeah, no blocks.
Okay. She gains 2 blood. This ash heap. Well, huh. That is rough. I think she would like to legal manipulate bleed.
All right. Successful.
Okay, that is a bleed
Any
for 3.
bonus?
Nope.
Okay.
But I will gain a pool with it.
Okay.
I will move to my influence phase. I will put an influence on this vampire. I will turn it. And Gentha Shale, another Ahrimane, who gets +1 bleed when bleeding someone who has a follower of Set. Not a big issue. Superior presence and animalism, inferior spiritus and potence.
So Andy, why didn't you play a follower set deck that contained Camarilla focus setites?
If you could, that would have been lovely.
Yep.
All right. I am done. I will... Shoot. I will discard a card.
Okay. I will untap.
Right.
I'm going to pull out a short-term investment.
All right.
Alright. Gillespie would like to burn Pentex Subversion.
That is a D action directed at yourself, so no one can block it unless they have a card to do so, correct?
I think so.
I believe that is correct. Well, dang. I don't have an eagle sight in my hand or any vampires who would be able to use it. Have at it.
Okay. I think that's your card, so just move it off to the side. Alright.
Yeah, so that can go to my ash heap.
What do I want to do? Alright. Lori would like to attempt to bleed you.
No blocks.
It'll be for 1.
Okay.
The edge is you, sir.
Alright.
I'm going to move your investment over just so it doesn't get confused with my stuff. I don't want to accidentally tap your investment. Man, the Giovanni made a great investment. That's why a bunch of Ahrimanes decided to get into banking.
Alright. Turn card. And now comes Francesca.
All right.
So she just 4-cap with all the basic Giovanni disciplines at inferior dominate, necromancy, and potence. Also, if I recall correctly, we were talking about groups earlier. Group 1 is, from usually just from the VtES Jihad set, if I recall correctly.
No.
And then Group 2 is all of the expansion packs.
Oh, okay.
It should also be noted, usefully again for the audience listening here. I think we've discussed this before, but one thing VtES uses to control people from making really crazy crypts is grouping. There are 6 groups, 1 to 6. You can have groups that are adjacent to each other, but they must all be adjacent. So you can have 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, or 3 and 2, but you can't have 2 and 4 with a 3 in the middle. You have to have only 2 groups.
Yeah. So, actually, wait a minute. Wouldn't that indicate that Stirling's crypt is illegal?
Illegal?
Yep. Lori Dernstein is a 4. All right. Well, you have to burn her.
Okay. That is. I have egg on my face at the moment. I apologize, gentlemen.
This is again for audience. This is particularly useful since Stirling was the one who introduced everyone to VtES and had the VtES guru badge for quite a while. So,
I mean, I can't imagine that his crypt is going to be like broken, and I somehow doubt that there aren't group 3 and 4 Giovanni with similar stats. So
we don't know. We'll continue playing. It's just in the future we should.
I'm willing to run with it. It's just
I am too. But if Stirling wins, it's an illegal win, and we give him no credit. If he loses, it's totally okay.
I don't think we get credit for winning anyway.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's totally reasonable.
In general, the group number is printed on the. I thought some of the group 2s at least had 2 printed on them. Which is why I figured later those guys were 1s.
Yeah. They've printed later group 2s and I think maybe some group 1s with the numbers on.
Mm-hmm.
So like it could be a group 2 from one of the later expansions that they retrofitted back in.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah.
And I think part of the thing is that I added Lori later, and so I think I just originally remembered groupings, and that's my excuse.
Yep. That's also a problem with, for example, the Ahrimanes, because they're scattered across groups, like 4 groups, so it's hard to get a good mix of them without violating grouping rules.
Yeah. That's a problem I've run into with building crypts before. But okay, so anyway, we've been introduced to Francesca Giovanni.
Which means it's your turn.
And okay, yeah, so I'm up. untap Master. I'm going to get myself a nice shiny power base Chwani.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I can tap it to reduce the cost of a card I play by 1 pool, and any Laibon may steal this location for his or her controller as a directed action.
Oh, sweet. My Laibons will do that when I get them.
That's one of your uncontrolled vampires, right, Dan?
Yeah. I've got a bunch of Laibons. The rest of my deck is all Laibons all the time. I only had 2 of these Ahrimanes. Totally weird I got them.
Okay. Minion phase. Let's see. Okay. What am I doing with my life? Oh, yeah.
That's a really deep question.
So
for this.
speaking of life, my werewolf regenerates the damage that he took.
Yep, that is true.
Let's see.
Are you gonna keep your werewolf around to fight the other werewolf?
Okay, hold on. Let me read this card for a second. Okay, well, the tunnel runner is going to attempt to bleed.
I'll let him through.
Okay.
He can't. He's not buffing anything, so I'll let that happen.
Let's see, what other sorts of shenanigans can take place?
Lots? I don't know what's in your hand.
Doily is also going to attempt to bleed.
Gento would like to attempt to block.
Okay. Block is successful.
All right, you're the actor.
Okay.
Any pre-range?
Nothing pre-ranged.
I have something pre-ranged. Strength of the bear.
Let's see. Strength of the bear. And this is at inferior.
Inferior. +1 strength the remainder of combat.
Okay. So I am going to maneuver, though. Too long.
All right, with aid of the bats?
With aid from bats.
Okay.
And then I'm ready for strikes.
As am I.
Okay. My strike will be 1 ranged damage from a bat.
My strike will be angrily shake my fist at you.
Okay.
Pressing?
No presses.
Sadly, I don't have a press because I have an inferior thing.
Train harder, noob.
I'll do my best.
All right. So then, let's see. How about Menno Nagiri will also attempt to bleed?
No block.
Oh. Cool.
All right.
I was totally going to do something else. Can I go ahead and do that thing since I technically wasn't finished declaring that action?
Go ahead.
He's also going to gain 1 completely superfluous stealth.
Nope, you can't do that. You can only gain stealth when you need it.
Even if stealth is not yet needed.
Oh, well then never mind. Stealth it up.
top of ash heap. Okay. And now I'm going to reveal the goofy reason why this Giovanni is here. Leah Milliner would like to Sudario Refraction.
Okay, you're taking some cards back up.
Yes, so choose 3 cards from my ash heap and move them to the top of my library. So let's take a look at my ash heap.
I'm pretty sure that the actual phrase is Susudio refraction, because that is the word. Studio.
I thought bird was.
No, grease is the word. It's got groove. It's got feeling.
To the top of library. And, top of... Okay, so 3 cards have been sent to the top of my library. Going to go back to my hand. Now I discard 3 cards at random. So, let's see, what's the best way of determining that? Should I just roll?
Cards? Yeah, just roll, or...
Since there's 7 cards, so...
Here's an easy way. I'm going to throw up a number 1 to 7,
okay.
and I'll do it 3 times.
Okay.
4, 2, 6. Boom.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you said 2, 4, and 6.
Yeah.
Okay, here's 2 being discarded, top of ash heap. Here's 4 being discarded. And here's 6.
Oh, man. Tunnel Runner or Wide of You in a Dreams of the Sphinx.
Yeah, those were actually all kind of cards I would have liked to have. But anyway, I'm now going to draw to replace those. Oh, and what do you know? I've seen these cards before.
Somewhere.
What a mystery.
Like in a dream.
Of a Sphinx.
Okay. I'm tapped out. So let's move to Influence. And I'm just going to go blow straight past Influence and contemplate maybe possibly discarding something, but then choose not to and pass the turn to Dan.
All right. Untap. It is Master Phase. I am going to play the Path of Harmony. This is a Master Phase. All Spiritus cards cost 1 less blood.
Yeah.
Not that many of them cost blood, but now they cost less. It can be burned as a D action. If you do so, you take an unpreventable damage.
That's fancy. Nice.
Yep. Cool. So that, anyone canceling that or anything?
I'm not.
Nope.
Okay. I will also tap Dreams of the Sphinx to put a blood on a card. Add a second counter. Boop.
Otherwise known as bloating. Because I kind of suspect that's going to go back into your pool by the end of the turn.
You are a wise man. Let's see here. Shoot. I need to figure out what I want to do with my life.
You want to oust Andy and then sacrifice yourself.
No. Greta Shale would like to become the wildebeest. She costs her blood. She gains +1 strength, -1 stealth, and an optional maneuver all combat. Cannot use equipment and cannot have retainers.
Alright. I choose not to block, and remember that you only pay for it if the action's successful.
Yes. So Murder of Crows and such is like a retainer. Which is why Maricina doesn't have it.
Yep. I'm just commenting that you pulled off the blood a little bit early.
Yes, I can put it right back on if it gets blocked.
Yeah.
No blocks.
Would you
Anyway,
like to block?
the key is that I'm not blocking.
She is now a bit of a badass. I don't like where this is going. All right. Maricina would like to use Charge of the Buffalo to enter combat with Tunnel Runner.
Okay.
It will enter combat. Range is automatically set to close. And my strike will initially be hands at +2.
Okay. And so that is currently at no stealth.
I'm sorry, I lost audio for a second there.
Oh, okay. And there's no stealth on that, is that correct?
What?
No stealth on that?
It is not a stealth action.
Let's see. No blocks.
All right. Range is close. I've got nothing before strikes.
Yeah, nothing before strikes.
My strike is hands for 4.
4?
She has +1 strength intrinsically. Her strike is at +2 damage, so it's a base of 4.
I was anticipating 3. Oh well. Well. Okay, in that case, I die.
And then you take another one from the crows.
Yep.
Goodbye, Tunnel Runner. Okay. So that was my minion. It's influence phase. I'm going to take one off of that. And I will gain 1. And then I will discard a card. I'll discard a Murder of Crows. And I'm done.
Untap.
So now you see what my my method of punching people is.
All right, I'm going to move one off for the short term as my master phase action.
Okay.
Minion. Francesca would like to not gain blood, but instead she would like a baleful doll.
That's pretty bad.
Unique equipment.
Oh, that's interesting.
Huh.
Yep, it's a unique equipment that I choose one of my praise vampires.
To burn 3 blood. That's
Yep.
rough.
Yep.
Yeah, of course you pull that. The week I'm playing a weenie deck.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, I ain't defending this one in the least.
It's equipment is always at +1 stealth, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, no blocks.
I have no interest in blocking that at all.
All right. So the target vampire will be Dolly.
Okay.
I suppose I should go with Leah because she's a traitor.
But she might know how to defend herself. From necromantic attacks.
So that card she used the other turn is why I chose Giovanni, but that was not the original purpose of having the non-Laibon vampires. They have a purpose that I have yet to draw into. Hopefully that'll happen one of these decades. Anyway.
We'll see.
All right. Gillespie would like to attempt to bleed you.
Gillespie is bleeding. I will not attempt. Well, let's see. Doily will attempt to block.
Okay. All right, using on the key V for those playing at home.
Yeah.
All right, I have no stealth, so block is successful.
Okay.
All right, I have no pre-combat.
Nor do I.
All right. Oh, all right. Since we're at. Okay, so wait. Well. All right. Immortal grapple. Since we're at close.
Okay.
Unless you have a maneuver. Sorry. So I'm messing up. My apologies. Okay.
Immortal Grapple's a tricky one because you kind of have to wait to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do you maneuver?
Yeah, no maneuvers.
Okay. So we have an immortal grapple.
Because. So you would play Immortal Grapple after maneuvers.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you have the
Yeah,
chance to maneuver before he can Immortal Grapple you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would have passed my opportunity to maneuver.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
pre-range, range, post-range, strikes. I guess is the way to handle this.
That post-range category is a very small slice of the combat cards in existence, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that's
right.
just all strikes must be hand strikes is pretty much the gist of that, right?
Yep.
And there's a optional press.
Okay.
And
Yep.
if that press is set, range is automatically close.
All right. So, are you ready for strikes?
I am.
I'm going to slam.
So that's for a total of 3, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, my strike's hands for 1.
Okay. And since your vampire would be... Nope. All right.
It would not be destroyed.
All right. That's into top of Ash Heap. All right. I'm going to taste a vitae to gain 3 blood back.
All right.
And then I'm going to use the press from Immortal Grapple
Okay.
to continue.
All right.
So we're at close range.
And so Immortal Grapple, that...
The range is determined, but the only hand strikes is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it fixes ranged close. Okay, yeah, got it.
Yep.
Yes, but you start again with the pre-range. You just skip the actual getting to change range. But you can play a card that gives a maneuver or does something during the maneuver phase.
Right, yeah. Okay, nothing before strikes in that case.
All right. All right, I want to send that top to Ash. All right, I'm going to strike with hands for 1.
Right, my strike is hands for 1 and glancing blow after strike resolution.
Okay. Should have done something else then. Oh well.
It's always a risk.
Yep.
Also, for our watchers at home, the important thing is 99% of the Bombway combat cards are play before range. So it's always like, is there anything before range? And if the answer is no, the answer is they're not doing much.
All right.
Because I think before range is plus strength, aggravated damage, and bonus strikes, which are their primary combat cards. Which that's a good combat set. Don't get me wrong. +1 to +2 strength, +1 to +2 strikes, and ag damage. Those are that is a combat deck at that point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So. Okay, so I have no additional presses.
Yep. No presses.
Okay.
He's like, I don't have any presses. Please don't make me press.
Okay, so combat is over. Okay. All right, so Lori would like to bums rush Leah.
Okay.
I believe that costs her a pool because it's a non-hunt action.
I already took that. If you notice in the log.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, cool. I was like...
I've been remembering that, by the way. So.
Yeah, I figured it was... I was just wanting to maybe go, oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, no blocks.
Wait a second. Cost her a pool. I think it costs her, not you.
No, it says pool. It doesn't say blood.
Yeah.
It says pool.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
All right.
It would make more sense, like, if it were blood, but it
or
says
her
pool,
Methuselah.
and pool means pool, so...
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
There's enough text on that card anyway, so...
Yeah, it does have a lot of text. Goodbye, Leah. It was nice knowing you.
Okay, so I have no pre-ranged.
Yeah, no pre-ranged.
All right, I am not maneuvering too long.
Nor am I.
All right, my strike will be slam.
Okay.
For 4.
Yeah, because she's already, at 2, so that's okay. Yep. My strike is hands for 1, and I'm taking 4, so that's, and then torpor.
I guess you didn't need that additional strike.
Actually, I'm just going to decapitate her.
Burn the imposing vampire and set sending by torpor. Oh, okay.
That's a pricey combo, but nice.
Yeah, I was hoping that Dolly would be in torpor at this moment, but well. 6. All right, and 7. Okay. And then for my discard phase, I am going to discard a Baleful Doll and then draw another library card. Okay.
I
Andy.
feel sort of bad for killing your werewolf now, Andy.
At this point, yeah, I'm like, you were applying reverse pressure for what reason?
Well, you had 4 creatures. You seemed really intimidating, and then you lost 2 of them.
Okay. Untap. I still have the edge somehow, so hey, I get a pool. Whee!
And we, of course, were hoping you didn't notice that.
I get to replace that glancing blow.
That on the qui vive can probably go away.
Oh, that's still sitting there? Yeah, that can go away. Go to my ash heap. Think about what you've done. Which was be moderately useful. So, good on you. Okay. So that's untap and master and minion and Dolly must hunt.
No block.
No block.
Okay. So she at least has that going for her.
You might want to leave some blockers.
You might not want to leave some blockers.
It's a mixed bag. I mean, Lori's gonna have to hunt, so you know.
Okay.
See what you do here.
Okay. Well, I guess this will qualify as leaving up a blocker, provided I am successful in doing it. So Menno would like to recruit another werewolf, which I will discount with my power base. And he will also do that at +1 available but completely superfluous stealth.
Okay. How's it? Yeah, I'm not blocking.
I choose not to block.
Okay.
I'm in a little bit of audio jiggle, so I'm going to turn off the video just see if it improves the bandwidth.
Okay, I can go ahead and just turn off my video as well.
I will follow suit.
All right.
All right. Yeah, your audio has been unusually tinny. Usually you're a lot clearer.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I noticed that there was something, so I may have to check some features later, but I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess all of that happens. No. Come on. Top of ash heap. And it looks like at this point, influence and discard. Do I want to discard a thing? Yeah. I probably should discard a thing. So, yeah, because no, I will not discard a thing. I probably should. Dan, you're up.
Alright, untap. Master. I'm not going to use Dreams of the Sphinx this turn.
Okay. Oh, and so that actually we had that brief distraction from your audio troubles. So we'll actually go ahead and rewind briefly just to introduce Ocean to our listeners. He's a unique werewolf with 4 life, which I guess I should give him now that I remember that life is an important thing. 4. 2 strength, 0 bleed. He may enter combat with any vampire as a +1 stealth directed action. In the first round of combat with a vampire who has played a card that requires Auspex during this action, that vampire cannot use any maneuvers or strikes. And he gains 1 life at the end of each round of combat for each blood the opposing vampire used to heal damage or prevent destruction that round. So it's a little different from most of the other werewolf we've seen this game, being the Tunnel Runner.
And prevent damage is, to heal damage is when you just spend blood for being injured, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Also, it should be noted that he is on the red list.
That does matter for some cards.
Yes. Yep. It is possible that matters.
Okay, well, let's see here. I lied. I am going to use Dreams of the Sphinx, and that will get rid of it. But I'm going to use it to draw 2 cards. And Gentha would like to be socially charming.
All right, I choose not to block for a total of 2
Yep.
or more.
Just 2.
Okay.
And I gain a pool.
At the edge.
Yep. This is tricky. I'm trying to decide what to do here. I don't know.
Apply forward pressure.
You should do nothing.
Yeah. No. See, here's the fun thing, Andy. I don't want to apply too much forward pressure. There's a limit to how much I want to help you. I don't want him to steamroll you, but at the same point, let's see here. I think I'm done. Influence, none. Discard, I'm going to get rid of some cards. I'm going to get rid of a... Well, first I have to discard down to 7.
Well, you're discarding. I'm just going to tap my vampires.
That sounds reasonable. And then I will discard a Murder of Crows. Okay. I'm done.
All right. You untapped, or I untapped Master Phase. I'm going to play the Barons.
Nice.
Any suddens?
Yep. Have your card filtering.
I'm going to tap this to burn
the Barons.
I was going to say, yeah, the Barons. No, actually, for those playing at home, Brick Lane. All right, going to pull 1 blood off of him. Off my blood doll.
Cool.
All right. Lori has to hunt.
And hunting is intrinsically at 1 stealth.
Yep. No blocks.
Sadly, no blocks. I did not draw into intercept. I'm just saying, if you're going to fight her when she has no blood is a good time to do it.
True facts. Except, oddly enough, that would actually be a very bad time for Ocean to fight her. Because he doesn't get the free life counters back during my untap. The vampire actually has to burn blood for him to get his life back.
Not your untap, the end of each round of combat. So, he heals up pretty fast.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, most of the time, if they're below their cap, they get 1 back during untap.
Yeah, I agree. I know what you mean. I'm just saying.
A little bit later.
Technically, he does it during each round of combat, which can be really handy.
Yeah, but completely useless when the vampire has 0 blood.
True. You'd block with somebody else, is what I'm getting at here. Who can handle the 2 strikes and a press.
This is a weenie deck.
None of your vampires. This is the correct
All right. Gillespie would like to summon Soul. I think I'm going to do the inferior version. To gain 2 blood. Yep.
Ray?
No blocks?
No blocks.
And, oops. Alright. I'm going to draw library. Crap. accidentally send that to the top of my library, so...
You can
That's
open.
odd.
You can reveal your library, take it off, and reshuffle everything.
Or you can just draw the card off the top of your library and then
Yeah, just draw and send it to the ash heap. That's even easier.
Well, I drew a card, but it wasn't that card, so I'm like...
Oh, it says move to the bottom of the library on here.
Ah.
Okay.
So I guess if you send that back to your...
Alright. I don't think I'm going to go through all my library. Do you gentlemen
That's
mind?
fine. Let's just keep going.
Technically there are shuffle effects in this game, but they are incredibly rare, and I'm playing none of them.
Yeah. Alright. Okay, so if... Alright, then... Alright, I don't think I want discarding cards, so it is now Andy's turn.
Okay, alright. Untap. Master... No master phase action. Minion phase. That's fun. Let's see. Menno is going to attempt to computer hacking bleed with Predator's transformation for
+1 stealth.
+1 stealth.
I will let it go by because I'm a
Okay.
nice guy.
So that's a bleed for 2.
You is the edge.
Yay. Okay, let's see. Dolly would like to attempt to recruit Carlton Van Wyck Hunter.
I choose not to block.
I choose not to block.
Okay, I'm going to use my power base to reduce the cost of him by 1 pool.
Oh, he's kind of nice. Strike for 1 range, dodges a strike once each combat, +1 intercept when blocking vampires.
Yeah,
And burn him to kill someone who's committed diablerie.
and I guess I should give him his life.
No bleed, but not a bad blocker. Would be nice if he can get range, but the free dodge is not terrible.
Okay. All right. So I feel like we discuss this literally every time we play this. I'm moving to influence. So it's 1 blood, and how many transfers to peak? Is it all 4?
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to peek, but to move 1 over.
Yeah. I feel like we kept calling that peaking back when we.
I think we call it pay to peak, but yeah, you actually are moving it.
Yeah. Draw.
I
Crypt.
thought it was... No. I would call it as pay to pray, but...
That works too. I mean, I'm flexible. I don't care what we call it that much.
And let's see. Then moving to discard. I will discard a card, I think.
2.
Discard top of Ash Heap. A villain.
Sweet.
And you're up.
Okay, untap. Master. No masters. Minion. Let's start things off here. Gentha would like to Deep Song at the inferior, which is a bleed for +1.
Alright. Francesca would like to attempt to block.
Block is successful.
Okay.
So let's get this party started. Prior to range, I am playing Strength of the Bear. Path of Harmony means it doesn't cost me anything. Her strength is now 3.
Okay.
I have no maneuver. Do you have a maneuver?
I choose not to maneuver.
Okay. I'm ready for strikes if you are.
As am I.
My strike is hands for 3.
My strike is dodge.
Okay. I have no press on this because I have the inferior version. So, combat is over. Oh, that's rough. Murasina would like to legal manipulate bleed at superior.
Alright, for how much? Total?
For 3.
Okay.
Okay, I gain a pool with that.
And the edge.
And I will send that to the top of my ash heap. I will discard a card. Draw. And I am done.
Okay. And tap. Tap phase. Francesca now becomes my blood doll.
Makes sense.
All right.
Okay. I'll pull one off of Gillespie.
Okay. Stupid dodging Francesca.
I do what I can, right?
Yeah, I can't falter for that one. That makes sense.
So I feel like one of the things that sort of like gives the necromancy deck kind of an advantage is like necromancy is so toolboxy in terms of what it's capable of. It's like you can't even really be 100% sure what you're walking into.
I think that's fair. It's a good addition to a lot of other things. You can use it to buff your dominate for bleed, to buff your potence for fighting. Like there's some nice tricks for a lot of different things in it.
True. All right. So, Lori would like to bums rush Cyan.
Okay, I suppose that's happening.
Notably, if you don't block it, she does get a free maneuver. Remember, bums rush.
Ah, yes.
And you'd still be tapped anyway at the end.
That is true. So I suppose...
Isn't it? Or would you not be tapped? Do you remember, Stirling?
Sorry, what?
if you start a fight with Bum's Rush and you don't block, do you still tap when the fight starts?
No, you don't tap if you don't block Bum's Rush.
So so you have the choice there. Do you want to be untapped to handle stuff, but have Lori get a maneuver? That's actually a legitimate choice. Never mind. I thought you still had to tap. I'm like, well, of course you should block.
Well, you should, just to
avoid the maneuver.
Yep.
But it's a question if he thinks, oh, you might have other stuff coming. So your call, Andy. Block or not? Is there a maneuver?
I'm gonna, fine. Let's attempt to block.
Okay, block successful.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, I have pre-ranged.
Same.
I don't maneuver.
Nor do I.
Okay.
Oh, did you lose the pool for Bums Rushing with her?
Not yet.
Okay,
Thank you for the reminder.
Just wanted to check. Sorry.
Okay, since we're close, I'm going to Immortal Grapple.
Okay.
Okay, and my strike will be, hands for 2.
Let's see.
Well, 2 hands for 1, technically.
No, she has +1 strength.
Oh, so it's gonna be oh yeah, you're right. Never mind. Ouch.
Well, Ocean, his strike is also hands for 2.
Okay.
So he loses 2 life, but gains 1 at the end of the round.
At the end of this round of combat, you can't do the second strike, can you, Sterling, or can you?
Nope.
Okay.
Lori goes to torpor before that point.
Okay, that's I can't remember if both strikes came through at the same time.
Strikes are effectively simultaneous.
Okay. I meant the extra strikes is what I meant.
No, that happens later, so.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the thing. Perhaps not the best idea. Regardless. Alright, I'm going to draw a library card. Alright, that'll be useful. Later on. Alright. Gillespie would like to bleed you.
Alright. Currently for 1, correct?
Yep.
I'll let it through.
Okay. It's for 1.
Alright.
The edge is you, sir. Here it is.
Alright. Tap this to... Okay. And then... to burn an Immortal Grapple. And then... no influence. Let's see if I want to discard any cards. Normally, I think I'm going to discard a Mighty Grapple. Okay. And Andy, you're up.
Okay. My things on tap. Master phase action. I have one of those. It's going to be Mappa Tano Utando. It's a unique master requiring the
Akunase.
There we go. Clan. I may tap this card to reduce a bleed against me by 1, and during my influence phase, I can tap this card and burn the edge to gain 4 transfers.
Cool.
And any vampire may burn this card as a directed action that costs 1 blood. So, worst case scenario, it's a distraction. Which I'm okay with, honestly. Let's see. What kind of nonsense do I want to do? Well, Menno is going to attempt to acquire the Heart of Nietzscheus.
I'm not going to block.
I choose not to block at this point.
Okay, and I will reduce the cost by 1 with the power base. And so this is a unique equipment, and during my untap phase, if the bearer is ready, I may draw up to 3 cards from my library and then move the same number of cards from my hand to the bottom of my library.
Okay.
So that may or may not come in handy, depending on whether or not he is able to survive for a bit longer. Let's see. What other sort of nonsense is going to be going on? Well, since Dolly's time on this world is probably short no matter what, she's gonna go ahead and attempt a computer hacking bleed.
Successful.
Okay. And I guess it's been my minion phase for a while now. Influence, let me see. Living on the edge. Pay 1, draw a crypt. No. So, on one hand, that was what I was looking for. I just simply have no idea if I'm ever going to get a chance to take advantage of that. Oh well.
That's fair.
Such is life. Then moving on to discard, I will go ahead and top of Ash Heap, a Tunnel Runner. And you're up, Prime.
All right. Untap. Master. I am going to Blood Doll. Actually, good question. Who am I going to Blood Doll? I'm going to Blood Doll Gentha.
All right.
And, yeah. Sounds good. And I will take one off of myself, and I will give one to her. Minion, Murasina would like to invoke... Gentha would like to invoke Engling... No, Murasina wants to invoke... Gain 2 blood and untap. +1 stealth.
Okay. I choose not to block.
Yeah, no blocks.
Does the hunter block?
Oh, that's right. I guess I do have that option, don't I? I
Yes.
forgot about my one and only source of intercept over here. Yeah, Carlton would like to attempt to block.
Okay, block is successful.
Okay.
Dan sounds excited. I expect he wants to cycle some cards.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready for strikes when you are.
Yeah, I'm ready for strikes.
Hands for 2.
Dodge.
Take 1 damage for the birds.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, Dan.
Yeah. That's okay. F it. Gentha is going to attempt to social charm bleed.
Francesca would like to tap and or would like to block that.
Block successful.
Okay.
All right. I have nothing before range.
Neither do I.
I have no maneuvers.
I'm going to maneuver it along.
Okie dokie. I'm ready for strikes.
Well, you're striking first.
Yep, my strike is going to be wave at you, and I'll take a damage.
Yep, from the throne gate.
Yep, okay. I'm good.
I'm going to taste that 1 point of damage.
All right.
Sorry, cycling cards.
That's fine.
All right.
Okay. Influence. I'm done. Discard. I'm going to get rid of a vision quest.
Not the vision quest. That
All
was.
right. I'm done.
All right. Tap, untap.
Vision quest, notably, is I think one of the only ways to get superior spiritus outside of sudden power,
or just having it.
I said get it.
All right. For my master phase. All right. I'm going to pull one off of the short term.
Okay.
Okay.
Francesco would like to jar the soul of Ocean.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so that's just a tap effect?
Yep.
At +1 stealth.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, no blocks.
If only you hadn't blocked my Angling Fury.
I still think that was probably well played. I feel like you've gone from marginally ahead of the game to more or less we are all on comparable levels of power.
I think this is reasonably true. You have more minions, so it's kind of tricky.
All right. Gillespie would like to attempt to lead you.
I take it for 1?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna let it through and tap my Mapitano Utando to reduce it by 1.
I should have seen that coming.
Yes, you should have. You should have burned the Mapitano Usando.
It would have been effectively the same thing, I suppose. But
True,
regardless,
but he wouldn't have it for the next turn. Oh well.
I'm going to tap the Barons to get rid of taste. Going to drain my discard. Going to discard a Brick Lane. It's interesting, and I'm done.
Okay. Untap. I will gain one from having the sweet, sweet edge. Let's see. No master phase action. No. Wait. When does the Heart of Nietzschetus happen?
During your untap phase, if you are ready.
Okay. Yes. So he is ready. And that is draw 3 and then put 3 on the bottom of my library. Got it. Okay. Bottom of library. Let's see. You can go to the bottom of library. And one more, I suppose, has, as they say, GTG, got to go. Okay, back down to 7. Okay, minion. What sort of shenanigans? What sort of shenanigans? See, Dolly would like to computer hacking bleed.
For 2, I will let it go through.
Okay. Let's see. Menno will also do the same thing, computer hacking bleed.
I will let it go through, although I do want to protest that a person who does not have pants has a laptop.
I think he's got pants on. He's just not wearing a shirt.
Oh, he might. It's hard to tell with the artwork. Well, if he has pants, then I negate that whole thing. He can totally hack shirts.
Okay. Well, I am going to do something that I believe is called in the common parlance living on the edge.
That is what some band had a song about that I've now forgotten.
Aerosmith.
Thank you. Oh, it's not just any Giovanni. It's the primo Giovanni.
So, I just want everyone to look at the image of Primo Giovanni and picture Dan laughing at the same time, because it's appropriate.
That is exactly what I look like, including like the blood and the tuxedo. I only play VtES in a tux, by the way, to our listeners. I am the swankiest of swanks.
He doesn't actually know how to tie it. It's a clip-on.
It's true, too.
Wait. I thought Dan was just wearing a tux t-shirt.
It's two-dimensional. You can't tell from the image on your screen. Be quiet.
Right, nonetheless, I'm moving to my discard phase now, where I will discard a delaying tactics. I'll replace that, and yeah, Dan, you're up.
Untap. Master. I guess Murasina is also going to be a blood doll. I didn't really have to make a choice on that one.
I hope that works out for her.
It's a good life. Ah. Okay. Murasina would like to. You know what? Ready just means visible, not untapped, correct?
Correct.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
So you can't bumps rush Lori, by the way.
Oh, I don't need to do that. I'm going to taunt the caged beast and set Menno Nagari into a fight with Francesca Giovanni. No, wait. I'm going to do it in a fight with Giuseppe Giovanni, because Menno's not going to have a good day with that one.
All right.
Okay. So wait, what's happening here? Choose a ready vampire controlled by your predator and another controlled by your prey.
And they just start a fight. I'm making you guys rush each other.
Okay, so Gillespie is fighting who now?
Menno Nagari, yeah.
Okay, got it. That happens. Who's technically acting player in this situation?
I guess my predator, since they are the one who I declare first.
Okay.
Don't say I never did anything nice to you, Stirling. this is my helping of you.
If. Yeah. Okay. So. All right.
Notably, if you're the only one left, you gain 4 blood.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so where are we? We are at pre-combat.
Yes,
right.
Andy goes first.
Oh, okay. I'm technically acting. Is that's what you decided?
Yeah, just because it says can choose one by your predator and one controlled by your prey. So
Okay,
I'm assuming it goes in that order.
Yeah. So I have nothing before strikes.
Me neither.
Okay. Yeah, my strike is hands for 1.
My strike will be Burning Wrath for 3 ag.
Okay.
2.
Okay. +2 strength, hand strike, aggravated. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. So,
the first sends you to torpor.
First
the
sends
next
me to
2
torpor,
burn off your pool.
And the next 2 just come off him.
Yep.
And I believe if it was 1 more, he'd be out of the game permanently. Now he's just
if
in
it were 1 more,
no...
he would burn. Yes.
Yep.
Well, so I'm just gonna go ahead and for fun, just glancing below that, so he is only at 1, but
in torpor.
The torpor thing still happens.
Okay.
Hey, look, he's the only ready one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That was like hunting, right?
It was. Where Gentha would like to be really intimidating to you, Stirling.
For 2?
For 3.
Any more?
3.
3, because she has the superior.
Okay.
I'll gain the edge. I am done.
Untap. Untap.
I gotta be honest, I really enjoyed the card. If I can just... You two have a fight. I want to deal with this stuff.
Alright, going to take the last one off of short term as my master phase.
Awesome.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm going to pull 1 blood off of Francesca. 2, 1. Okay. Yeah. I think Francesca would like to tap to try to rescue Lori.
That one stealth.
It is at 1 stealth.
Only one man can save the world from Lori.
Well, let's have some fun. Carlton would like to attempt to block.
+1 stealth.
Okay. Yeah. She's successful.
Alright. So Lori comes out and has to hunt.
This is also at one stealth.
Yep.
Yeah, so Carlton Van Wyck could he not attempt to throw himself desperately at this situation again?
The one note is she has 2 strikes, and that is important to note for Mr. I have 1 dodge.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he's DEAD dead, like basically no matter what.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, he's going to attempt to block.
Alright, block successful.
Okay.
I have nothing until strikes.
Same.
Alright.
Let's see if Andy does the right thing.
Which is, well, what's your strike first of all?
I'm not telling
Dodge.
you.
Oh, yeah, well, it doesn't matter then, because my strike is going to be 1 ranged, which you're dodging.
Yep. And then I think she has
Second strike.
second strike for 2.
Yep. He did.
Which your answer would have actually been strike dodge to hold your dodge for the second attack.
Nope. He has to have a second. Does he have a second strike?
No.
Good point.
Yeah, I if there's a way to give him a second strike, it's probably way more complicated than anything I've managed to cram into this deck.
That's fair. Well, he's dead. Goodbye, Carlton. You saved the world from Lori Durnston for like a turn. 1 turn of saving.
Alright, I think... Alright. I think Gillespie would like to Bums Rush. I think he would like to Bums Rush Gentha.
Okay. Bums Rush will be successful.
Okay.
Start us off. Do you have any pre-combat?
Nope.
Strength of the bear.
Okay.
Okay. I have no maneuvers.
I'm going to maneuver to long.
Okay.
Alright. Ready for strikes?
Yep.
My strike will be Sacrament of the Carnage for 3 range.
Okay. My strike will be wave my hands angrily.
Alright.
Well, that was exciting.
And then I'm going to, of course, taste that.
Okay.
2, 3. All right. Do I draw into a press? No. So
I'm choosing not to press.
I also choose not to press.
Awesome.
All right. I'm going to tap the Barons to get rid of a card. All right. No influence, discard. I think I'm going to discard a Pushing the Limit. That'll be interesting. Anyways, Andy, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm up, so I'll untap, replace my glancing blow. Let's see what manner of nonsense I can get myself up into. Let's see. Master phase, I will totally Dreams of the Sphinx. Using my power base to reduce the cost by 1. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and get the +2 hand size. Let me think here. Oh, man. This is some sweet, sweet nonsense.
Yep.
Well, I think Dolly is going to computer hacking bleed.
Let it through.
Okay.
I do, by the way, like that they have a mage character in the description there.
For
computer hacking. Demon Seed Elite is a character from the Virtual Adept book.
Yeah.
So, do they?
Computer hacking's description is, look, dude, those Demon Seed Elite hackers aren't cool. They just can't spell.
I see. I thought it was the person attributed to it.
Yes. Someone who also can't spell, which is even better.
Okay, so that was a thing that totally happened. I think I'm going to hold off, perhaps, on... What's Primo gonna do? Should he do something, or should he just, like, party in that sweet blood-stained tuxedo?
I don't know. Your call, man. How prime is Primo?
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold him back for now, I think. So, let's see. Influence, nothing, discard. So the Dreams of the Sphinx +2 hand size when
Now ends.
So does that end at the beginning of discard or after?
I believe you can discard and then you discard back down to 7.
So you discard, but you replace it.
Yes, and then you go back down to 7.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. Actually, I guess that doesn't particularly matter. I'm going to use a non-discard discard phase action for this sweet Gehenna card, the Unmasking. Allies get +1 intercept when blocking vampires, but I do not replace it until my next discard phase. So, oh, and I must not have drawn to replace something else I did, because I am currently at 7 cards. So, do I just, like...
You didn't replace computer hacking or the unmasking. But you wouldn't... So you should replace computer hacking. You should have 8 cards after playing the Gehenna card.
Okay. So, yeah. Alright, that happens.
And since you don't replace it till your next discard phase, you'll discard down to 6.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to discard.
And Stirling, your Bum's Rush is still on the table. I just noticed.
Top of Ash Heap, and then
Well, how else am I supposed to randomly Bum's Rush you next turn?
That's fair.
So you'll notice I just discarded a deflection, revealing the actual true purpose for all of these superfluous Giovanni in this deck. Okay, yeah. Anyway, Dan, you're up.
All right, Gentha must, I'm sorry, before, untap, master, nothing, nothing, minion, Gentha must hunt. Any blockers?
Yeah, no blocks.
Okay. Minion. Well, this is annoying. Murasina, I suppose, is going to charge of the Buffalo Giuseppe.
Okay.
Cool. Range is automatically close. So I'm ready for strikes.
As am I.
All right. My strike is hands for 4.
Strange. That's how my damage too.
Okay, and you take an additional 1 for Murder of Crows.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4,
5. Sadly, I did not draw into a press. Oh, you should have the edge, by the way, Andy, now, since you bled me.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
That should be over on your side of the table, not mine. Okay. So, influence, no. Discard, I will discard a card. And draw. All right. Your turn, Stirling.
Untap. 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 Tap. Tap. During my master phase. To burn this Glasswalker Pact. Because of that little detail about
werewolves. I will say I'm super sorry I couldn't draw into my +1 strength spirit discards. Like I was really hoping I could beat the crud out of Giuseppe.
Alright, both these sounds interesting. But I'll go with the Morgue Hunting Ground. Any suddens?
Nope.
Yeah, nope.
Okay. Then I'm going to burn a pool to give Francesca, or move a pool via Blood Doll onto Francesca.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Lori must hunt.
Yep. No blocks.
You sure you don't want to have Ocean block?
Um, I'd like to have a live werewolf for now, so.
Well, there's an undead werewolf right there.
Ba-dum-psh.
Okay. Gillespie would like to jar Primo's soul.
Okay. Now that I will take a
At Superior, of course.
passing shot at blocking with Ocean. He gets +1 intercept when blocking vampires, thanks to the unmasking.
Alright, you get -1 intercept.
He also has +1 intercept from the from the unmasking. Well, ouch. Ouch. Sorry, Ocean.
Okay, so I guess Primo is letapped.
And burns of blood.
Yep.
Le blood. As the Russians would say.
Alright, I'm just going to go straight to discard. And discard a spectral divination.
Alright.
And it is now Andy's turn.
Alright. Untap everything. I'm going to tap the Dreams of the Sphinx, since I have the edge to use it to gain an additional pool. And I guess I draw back up to 7. That's exciting. Yeah, no master phase. It's minion time, though. Isn't that exciting?
Woo! Feeling the thrills.
Okay. Well, gurgling noise. Dolly would like to attempt to bleed with Predator's transformation.
So that's a bleed at +1 stealth?
Yes.
For 1?
For 1.
I'll let it go through.
Alright. I think Primo is going to attempt to rescue Menno. He'll pay. Primo will. Assuming successful.
This is... I'm not going to block. If Stirling likes to block it, that's his choice.
I choose not to block at this juncture.
Okay. Well, that was exciting. Let me see here. Minnow will computer hacking bleed with Predator's transformation.
Okay. Murasina will use Speak with Spirits. She will untap. She will burn a blood to gain +1 intercept.
Okay.
Is the block successful?
Block is successful.
All right. Combat time. I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, nothing before strikes.
Yeah, because Path of Harmony wouldn't apply since it's Burn a Blood. It's not the cost of the Spiritist card. It's a cost after it's been used, which is different. Is that correct?
So that's for
Path of Harmony. The Speak with Spirits is
that's
Burn a
that's
Blood.
not a cost. That's just rules.
Yep. Okay. So my strike will be hands for 2.
Okay. My strike will be hands for 1, but also glancing blow to prevent 1 damage.
Okay, you prevent 1, and then you take another 1 from Murder of Crows.
Ah, crap! Forgot about Murder of Crows. Oh well. Well, that was short-lived. Let's see here. I'm gonna go straight to discard, where I will top of Ash Heap discard a deflection, and you're up.
All right. Untap. Master. What the F do I want to do? I don't know if there's a good play. Like, I can try to apply forward pressure, but then that just means you're going to oust me and Stirling's weaker.
So this is like an awkward thing. I feel like we are all kind of screwed.
I could go backwards and like beat you up, and that's fine too, but I feel like what happens there is then I'm giving Stirling the game.
Yeah, then Stirling ousts me, gets a bunch of blood, and then steamrolls you, basically.
Yeah. So. I'm not sure if I can really do anything of use here. Gentha is going to Deep Song and start a fight with Primo Giovanni? So 0 stealth attack, and you would be the acting minion.
Okay. Ocean will attempt to block.
Block is successful.
Okay.
I'm ready for strikes when you are.
Yeah, same.
Okay, hands for 2.
Hands for 2.
Okay. I will burn a blood. You will gain a blood.
Well, I will take 2 damage and then gain 1 back, so...
I will discard a card. I will draw a card. Okay. I'm done.
So that's... Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to look at what I had coming up.
Oh, so you're just sort of admitting defeat?
Yeah, I have no minions. I don't know what you want me to do.
Transfer a pool to a caitiff.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so yeah, Stirling, please feel free to go. I will. Yeah, I'm not getting rescued, so. And even if I am, I don't think
Did we
that my
lose Sterling from the call, or?
tool is going to do much. So. I will wait to look at my cards until I'm officially ousted.
Okay. Sorry.
We'll go back and
you accidentally hit mute on my mic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of surprised I haven't done that like 5 times.
All right. So master phase action. I am going to short-term invest.
Short-term investment.
Any set-ins?
Nope.
Oop.
All right. I think I'm going to. All right, that was my master. 2-1. No, I think I'm going to go 2 minion.
All right.
I'm going to live on the edge. Lori is going to Bunzer Associan.
Okay. Yeah. Successful.
All right. I have nothing till strikes.
Yeah, nor do I.
All right, my strike will be slam.
Okay, yeah, my strike's hands for 2. So
Right.
you go to torpor, I die in a ball of fire.
Okay. I'm going to tap the barons to move cycle cards. Francesca would like to burn, I guess, Matapatno Utendo.
Okay. Yeah. That action is successful, so.
Costs of blood.
Yep.
But it's gone finally.
Yep. Now the question is, how far on the edge do I want to live? Screw it. Gillespie would like to get a laptop computer.
Whoa! that is on the edge of if Andy can get a +2 bleed and get through me.
Yeah, no blocks.
All right. All right, I think I'm going to... I actually like my cards, so Andy, your turn.
All right. Untap all. Draw to replace that.
Does he
Glancing
get a
Will.
computer hacking with the Bombway card that is +1 bleed modifier?
Can he get 2 computer hackings?
Yeah, that would do that. I mean, if he does that, then he can bleed you for 1. Then he just sweeps.
Okay, let's see.
Well, he did.
I'm gonna go ahead and use Dreams of the Sphinx to get the +2 hand size. At which point, Dreams of the Sphinx is leburned. Okay. Well, Dolly would like to computer hacking bleed you?
No block. Any modifiers?
Nope.
So sad.
Let's see. And you're at 1, no?
Yep.
Okay. In that case, Primo would like to bleed you for 1?
You have been the bled.
Okay. And, what's the payout for that? Is it 6? Is that right?
6. And I guess gave you a VP. I gave you my VP.
Sweet.
Now I'm going to look at my cards.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to, let's see. Okay, that was minion. I am done minioned out. I'm going to go to influence, and get Nestor Kaba out and on the battlefield, ready to go. And then I will discard down to 7 with the 2 unmaskings, which are now like superfluous, I think. Except that's not unique. Does that mean I can keep stacking them to give... Nah, weird.
I believe all Gehenna cards... There's a rule about having multiple Gehenna cards of the same type.
Oh,
but I have
okay.
to look.
Yeah. That would make way more sense. But yeah, anyway, okay. So in that case, Stirling, you are up. All right. I'm assuming it's the obvious target then. For that, is your mute on again, Sterling?
Yes, my mute is on again.
I was like, why is he not saying anything? That's really creepy.
Yeah. I didn't want you to hear Turbo in the background.
That's fair.
Turbo's my neighbor's dog. I can't tell if he was aptly named or if the name made him more articulate.
I mean, we can all hear, I'm pretty sure. Snuggles. Ow. Ow. Okay, so you're tapping down Nestor, and I believe that is a successful thing that just happened.
Okay. Though at the moment, I'm not sure what else I want to do.
Yes, Gehenna cards are noted as being intrinsically unique.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
All right, I think I'm going to just call it at this point because I can't put enough forward pressure.
Okay. That's fair. This game has gone on for quite some time for only a 3-player game. I feel like we were actually just quite so well matched through most of that it slowed us down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind a brief post-mortem for our watchers to discuss what we had planned, they might be interested in what the decks were aimed to do and what may have come up to cause issues or some concerns.
Yeah, absolutely. You wanna take point on that?
Yeah, I'll certainly talk. So mine was obviously an Ahrimanes deck. So I was trying to have a bunch of those where I'd have some flexibility here. Unfortunately, my crypto is entirely those two, so I didn't have my other two Ahrimanes.
Ah.
Otherwise, I would have brought out one of the other ones. Which I think might have a third minion might have been nice.
Can this is we've mentioned the key word this conversation already for sterile, but can we actually tell our viewers what the implication of that keyword is?
So some cards let you give blood to vampires of a lower capacity. Sterile means you can't do that.
No. I just don't think that they had that. I thought that was that you can't create new vampires.
That's what that means mechanically. I can't use cards that would put blood onto a vampire with another sterile vampire. I can't have them play enchant down or anything.
I always assumed that meant that you couldn't embrace or something like that.
Well, that's what it is like. Story.
In the context of the story, but in the rules context, it's I can't play things that give blood to lesser vampires.
It says specifically, vampires cannot take actions to put other vampires in play.
Or add pool to them. Actions. To put other vampires into play. It's just that. I assumed putting blood on them counted, but I guess it might not.
Oh.
No, I think it's stuff like embrace or,
Yeah. So that's what sterile does, which does not come up that often, as you'll note.
Yeah. It's amazing some of the keywords and how rarely they're ever relevant.
Yeah, sterile is not a particularly painful one to have. So the intent of the deck was kind of a bruisey bleed deck. I basically had a lot of cards that were add 1 or 2 bleed and give myself pool. So I was hoping to bloat myself up a little bit that way.
Yeah. You had quite a bit of bloat going.
Yeah, so unfortunately I didn't draw a lot more of my Engling Furies, and I didn't draw any Terror Frenzies. I had some Tears of Souls. and I had some intercept and untapped cards I just did not draw up until the very end, which was annoying. Which was Speak with Spirits there. So the intention was I had a little bit of untap and a little bit of intercept, like a point or two I could generate reliably to maybe block people if something happened. And I would otherwise bleed, and if you got into a bleed, I'd boost my strength and punch you a lot. The other intent was, supposedly Murasina's Call is great because I can search for all of my retainers and allies. They were all in my hand at the start of the game. I had 2 crows, a wolf, and I'm like, okay, I drew and I got my second wolf. I'm like, I have 3 of each of these cards. How are 4 of them in my... I can't use any of my Murasina's Call. This is terrible. But yeah, so I'm supposed to stick those onto my minions so that they are generate a couple points of damage automatically, and then I can rush people for a bit more. So that was the intent.
Yeah.
I think I didn't draw into anything. I had a bit of a rough draw initially. That was what I...
Yeah, and Stirling, you had, looks like a solid potence engine going with some necromancy backup.
Pretty much. It didn't quite work out as planned. I think, despite the fact that everyone had kind of bruisey decks, there wasn't a lot of combat, so I couldn't cycle through cards. So, kind of wondering about... but anyway, was it Brick Lane? And the useful of that, because it just, no one had havens.
Yeah, I feel like
on the other hand,
that's such a narrow thing. Like,
on the other hand, doing something like, hey, I'm going to bricklay your secured haven
is really nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, a lot of the it seems like a lot of the time it's just sort of a dead card, but when it's useful, it's a blowout. I feel like that might be like one of those sort of like toolboxy kind of one-of cards that you have in there, where, if it's handy, it's dandy, but if not, it's you just pitch it to discard.
Yep.
So yeah, I like the Barons too. That's some great cycling.
Yeah, the downside is seems like, I think I recall some of my, friends commenting that the Barons actually means your deck is not perfect.
If you're using the Barons, why didn't you just tweak your deck more?
Yep.
But, I feel like in Vampire, in VtES, that's a perfectly fair construction, is to have the toolbox deck. And... you have cards that are very conditionally useful, so you can adapt to any situation. And if you're not in that situation, you want a way to get rid of those cards. So,
true. Didn't quite feel like I got the bleed components going. Yeah, maybe I should have
got that laptop computer pretty late. I don't know if that was something that you wanted to have out a lot sooner.
Yeah, maybe a few more laptops or going with computer hacking would have been helpful.
Yeah. So speaking of computer hacking,
so the winner, the one whose deck did work the best in this game.
Well, I don't know. I think my deck worked. It just wasn't in necessarily the way I was expecting it to. So the idea is to describe it in Magic the Gathering terms. This was supposed to be the red-white go-wide deck, where you're not playing any big vampires or Tunnel Runner. It's a werewolf. It's got the werewolf regeneration, but it's not like the big, tough, intimidating, flashy thing. And it also has that burn a life to get +1 stealth thing that I totally forgot about. I'm not sure if I ever actually would have used it anyway. So basically the idea is just to lay down a whole bunch of weenies and just keep swinging So a lot of my gas is based on stuff that doesn't have any requirements. Like, none of my vampires have fortitude, so I've got the glancing blows
Yeah.
to prevent damage, and computer hacking that, doesn't require any discipline. Anybody can use it. My allies can use it if I need them to. And was just to have so many people bleeding that if any of them got blocked, it didn't particularly matter.
Well, that's fair.
Was sort of the general idea, with a little bit of stealth in the form of the Predator's transformation that I can get from a bombway, the stealth from the tunnel runner, just to get through a few extra hits here and there. But then when combat happens, like the trouble is I kind of want to try and engineer it so when combat happens, it happens with somebody with access to animalism. Because basically the only thing I'm really going to be able to do is
maneuvered along
the
in one
aid from
range.
bats to maneuver to long and do one ranged. That's really my one and only hope if I get into combat. So that was the general idea, and I mean it was effective. I think not quite in the way I did. I feel like for the most part my stealth was kind of useless because you weren't really putting up a lot of intercept or even any attempts to block. Perhaps
Again, I didn't draw into any of my stupid... I have a lot of untap and gain an intercept card. I didn't draw any of them!
Yeah, what you gonna do? All right, well, anyway, that was a really long 3-player game, but I think we played 3 decks that were very, very well matched, and I mean, Stirling sort of, I guess, conceded there at the end, but I genuinely think that there was a battle to be had if we played that out. It would have been probably tedious and uninteresting, but I think it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And I do think, a good hand or a little twist one or the other, there were definitely points where I think we were very well balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think part of it is that this was kind of a combat deck that used Jar the Soul as a alternative to combat. I don't quite feel like Jar the... or I always kind of wish that Jar the Soul had like the reverse on it, that it was burn a blood and then tap at superior, but it's the reverse, and so it doesn't quite work as I always want it to.
Yeah, and again, I think it's interesting. It is really, based on the table sometimes, or just what you draw into.
Yeah.
Ooh, Sylvia does look nicely creepy and has a nice, some nice abilities there.
Yep. That was the last vampire that I drew into, and it's just like 10 cap.
Not useful at all at this point in the game.
Yeah. Or more specifically, not useful if you're like number 1, because it's like, okay, what,
it's 4 turns to get her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe your foe is a little bit further down the pecking or the list.
If it was 4 players and you were 4, third turn, get out, and you had a low cap or a mid cap to put a couple onto to build into, you might be able to pull it off.
Yep.
All right. Well, nonetheless, fun game, guys.
I enjoyed it.
Good to get some VtES up again. There's some of the ones that have been going up on our YouTube channel recently. We recorded late last year, so there's a gap between the last time we've played, or played and successfully recorded, as the case may be.
Hopefully people have enjoyed watching it, and you're getting some interesting stuff out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I turn comments off because I think YouTube comments are a cesspool that I want nothing to do with.
That's fair.
But people like the videos, And I kind of wish that I had some way of getting feedback from like the kind souls who enjoy watching them, because I'd like to know what people would like us to do differently to make it, more fun to watch.
Perhaps we could have a pop-up with the email address.
Yeah, you'll have to resend me all of the information on that offline, because I've totally forgotten all of it. But yeah,
that's fair.
We'll try and do something like that. Anyway, we'll see you guys sometime in future.
So, enjoy all.
Yep. Peace out.